This video is meant to prepare you to meet with your advisor for registration for this fall and summer semester. Fall and summer registration will begin in mid-April and can continue throughout the month. During the summer term, students will be allowed to register for courses they wish to take as long as they have the prerequisites. And in the fall, students will be restricted to completing courses listed on their projection. As a reminder, you are allowed to only register on days that have been specifically assigned to you and emailed to you prior to registration week. Before you can meet with your advisor, you will need to identify some information and understand what a PIN is. So we will go through each of those pieces and where to find them. The first thing you will need to identify is who is your advisor for registration. Your registration advisor can differ from your current advisor for the semester. In order to identify this, please go to SAP, choose Academic History, and look at your personal information on top of the page. Here on the screen, you see an example of a student's academic history. At the top of the page, you should see your name and your ID number. Across from that, on the right-hand side, you should see current term, and you will see your current advisor's name and your current major. Below there, you will find the future advisor's name listed, along with any future major changes you have completed. You will need to contact your future advisor when it comes to receiving your PIN. Please note that your current advisor, if it is a different person, does not have access to your PIN, and all advisors have been notified that they need to speak with all of their future advisees. Once you have identified your advisor, the next step is to identify your registration date. In order to do this, there are two ways. One way is to check an email that was sent to you the week before advising week. It was sent to you from the registrar's office. You have been pre-assigned a specific registration period for the summer and the fall semesters. Please note, they are different weeks. In the email, you should see identified what semester the registration information is for, and then you will find that they have assigned you a starting registration time and a finishing registration time. Also in this email, it tells you that you will need to obtain an alt PIN from your advisor. This is a password needed in order to add classes. Once you know who your advisor is and when your registration day is, you will need to proceed to meet with your advisor in order to get your PIN. In order to explain what a PIN is, here's a video that will take you through some information.
Student Online Registration Guide, 2019 to 2020. Registration PIN, Alt PIN. Kindly set a meeting with your advisor and get your Alt PIN, the password for online registration, before requesting this e-service. Please note, students need a unique Alt PIN for online registration. Student's advisor name can be found on the student transcript, SAP. Students can use the Alt PIN number during their online registration process. Online registration cannot be completed without an Alt PIN. Student Online Registration Guide, 2019 to 2020. Registration PIN, Alt PIN. Kindly set a meeting with your advisor and get your Alt PIN, the password for online registration, before requesting this e-service. Please note, students need...
Once we have identified that information, you are ready to complete your advising. As we talk about your advising, we will review some preliminary information and take you through steps required in order to be prepared for your registration meeting. The first thing you will need to do is to consider how many classes you are allowed to sign up for. The number of classes or credits that you can register for is based on your cumulative GPA. For summer classes, if your cumulative GPA is a 2.26 or above, you'll be allowed to register for 2 courses. If your GPA falls below that, you are restricted to registering for 1 class in order to make sure that you are successful. If you are registering for summer courses, please note that you should really register for courses that you need to repeat due to a W or WF or a failed grade first. New students will be allowed to register for 2 courses, and then 1 will be dropped if their GPA appears lower than what is required. For the fall semester, if your GPA is above a 2.26, you will be allowed to register for 15 credits or 5 courses, whichever one occurs first. If your GPA is below this, you will be restricted to registering for 4 courses or 12 credit hours. Students with high GPAs can also pursue to take 6 courses. However, this should be discussed with your advisor to see if this is an option for you. Now that we have discussed how many credits you can take, you will need to access your projection report and save a copy of it on your desktop. In order to do this, please proceed to SAP and log in to the website. The next thing you would need to do is, using the menu at the top of the screen, go over to the option for reports on the far right-hand side, open up the menu, and choose projection. Your projection will appear to be something like this. Once your projection appears, at the top you will see your personal information with your name and ID number, your advisor, etc. And then you'll see a list of courses at the bottom that you will be allowed to sign up for. Your next item would be starting to meet with your advisor. Please request an appointment or attend their office hours. While you are waiting for a confirmation on your appointment or prior to going to office hours, please download the registration form. This can be found in the Blackboard section for your advising class. From your advising class, please choose the menu option for registration, and then you will find the form inside the tab. Please click on the form to download it. This is the same location you will be submitting the form after you have completed it. The form will appear like this, and you'll be able to enter in your personal information, what courses you need to complete, and you will also be inserting your projection into this form. Once you have submitted this form in your advising class or met with your advisor, you will receive your PIN. Thank you for completing the pre-registration video. Please download your form and meet with your advisor, or proceed to the registration video and contact your advisor with any questions or additional concerns.
Online registration cannot be completed without an alt PIN.
Another thing to note is that for summer and fall registrations, you will have different alt PINs. So be prepared to receive your summer PIN before registration week begins, and then you will receive a separate PIN for fall registration as we get closer to that date.